Coming off a miserable 2-10 season when nothing went right, Air Force really backtracked last year. Can they get it back this year? I'm Pete Fiutak for Campus Insiders. We're breaking down the 2014 Air Force Falcons. Here's what you need to know to be an expert.
Oh, you're a clever one.
All right, so here's the good news. They get just about everyone back on defense. They get the entire front seven back. 18 of the top 19 tacklers return. Now here's the bad news. It was an awful defense. It was absolutely woeful. Couldn't stop anybody on third downs. Now, experience now has to translate into production, and it has to help out a running game that didn't control the clock well enough. It's going to have to get that ground game moving like Air Force has been able to get it moving in the past, and that defense is going to have to stop somebody. All right, Doug Chapman, your thoughts? Who is the player that you need to watch out for?
You're right, Pete. That ground game is going to have to keep Air Force in it. My surprise player is Jacoby Owens, redshirt freshman, had an amazing spring. He's going to be in that backfield with Hart and Lee. They like to run the ball to the tune of 40, 50 times a game. They barely throw it. They set up play action, but they've got to run it, control the clock. They've got to be much better. Let's take a look at that schedule.
After last year going 2-10, I'm not going to put anything past Air Force this year. They can beat anybody on the schedule. They're going to beat Nicholls State to start the season. And for anybody else, the schedule wouldn't be too bad. But for them, going to Wyoming's pretty difficult. Going to Utah State, going to Army, UNLV, and San Diego State. Again, not that bad for most teams, but for a team like Air Force coming off a bad season, they've got to win a couple of those big games to have a winning season. All right, Doug, your thoughts on what they're going to do this year?
Choose wisely.
My pick is 2-10, Pete. They won 2 games last year. It may be just as rough for them again this year. I'm looking at the schedule here. They have Nicholls State week 1. They should be able to win that football game. After that, they go to Wyoming, to Georgia State. They have Boise State comes to them. Navy comes to them. Then they have to go to Utah State. I don't see many wins. They may sneak one out down the road against UNLV on November the 8th, but outside of that, I see a 2-10 season.
I have learned my lesson from Air Force in the past. Just when you think they're going to be really bad, all of a sudden that running game rocks again. They get 18 of their top 19 tacklers back. I think it's going to be just enough to get by. I think they're going to come up with a winning season, get back to a bowl game. They're going to come up with just enough good wins to get there. I don't think they're going to challenge for the Mountain West title, but I think they're going to be okay. I'm Pete Fiutak. We are breaking down every team in the Mountain West here on Campus Insiders.